Hey, it's Matt Brown here from the band Dead Parade in Matt Brown's guitar studio. I'm going to do the guitar parts for David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust in this one. So I already did the bass line, so if you're looking for that, please just check out that lesson. Okay, so this one we're in standard tuning and we're in the key of G. At the beginning we have 3 guitar tracks, but I'm just going to teach us all an acoustic guitar for simplicity's sake. Okay, so let's talk about what I was just playing. That's the main electric guitar part here. And there are 2 electric guitars that we'll talk about and 1 acoustic for the beginning. So the part that I'm playing, or that I played at the beginning, we'll talk about that first. Okay, so the first chord that we're playing is a G5. And he is playing this. This is 3, 5th string is muted, open 4th string, open 3rd string, and then you have the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So that's that chord. And then we're going to do 2 little mutes in 8ths. And then what we're going to do next is play out of the D chord shape. So what you're doing here is you're using just your first finger to bar 3 strings of a D chord. So this is at the 7th fret, and you're playing on your 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So that's your D chord there. And that's the melody that he plays out of it. So you're raking into the strings at first, going back between the F sharp and G notes here, and then the last note's a D on your 3rd string. Alright, then what comes next is an arpeggiation of 3 different chords, and the arpeggio is a little bit different each time you play it on the recording. For simplicity's sake and ease of playing, you might want to just play the arpeggio the same way all 3 times. So the chords that are being played here, we have a C add 9, so on the inner 4 strings, that's 3, 2, open 3. The next chord we're going to play is a G/B. So that's on the inner 4 strings again, 2, open, open 3. And then the last chord is I'm going to call it A7 sus4. So inner 4 strings again, you have open, open, open 3. So the arpeggio pattern that I was doing, that I would recommend just looping this whenever this part comes around, goes like this. So you're doing the C add 9 at the beginning, and then you're changing to the G/B on the and of 2, and then you're changing to the final chord, the A7 sus4 on beat 4. So again, real slowly. All right, so that takes care of that little arpeggio part. Let's talk about the other guitars and what they're doing. So the other dirty electric guitar is, it's playing the same thing in the first measure, the type deal. And then what you're going to do for the next measure is just strum the chords. You're just going to strum the chords. So he does typically roll the first C add 9, so be aware of that. And that's really it for that dirty guitar part. So let's check out the final part, which is actually the acoustic guitar part. Alright, so that's the acoustic part. First measure, we're playing the G chord the same way. G5, I should say. Then we're just going to do a single quarter note mute. Then what we're going to do is go to a D chord, and this is just your tried and true D chord. Open 4th string, 2, 3, 2. And that's going to take care of the end of the first measure. Then we're going to strum the chords, but we're going to play a busier strumming pattern than the guitar part I just taught you. So it sounds roughly like this. So the first 2 chords are the same. This guitar part, though, is playing an A minor chord for the very last chord of the progression. So just open 5th string, 2, 2, 1, 0. So the strumming rhythm is ad-lib, and it's a little different each time. So I'll play through a couple times to give you an idea of what you might want to do. Alright, so now we're to the verse. So since I'm on acoustic here, I'll show the main acoustic part for the verse and then the other parts. Okay, so the strumming rhythm it's an ad-libbed thing, mainly 16-note based. So let's talk about the chords that we're going to do. We're going to do a G chord for one measure. So this G chord is played 3, muted 5th string, open, 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 3. So one measure on that one. We're going to do a B minor 7 for one measure. So this is a 5th string root, 2, 4, 2, 3, 2. Then your tried and true C chord for a measure. Here there is a specific rhythm. We want to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in. And you want to accent the 3 and 4 in. This is where the other guitar is doing the type deal. So that's why. Alright, then we have a measure of a D chord. Tried and true D chord. Then we're back to the G chord that I showed you a second ago for a measure. Then we're to an E minor chord, tried and true E minor. Then the A chord is played on your inner 4 strings, open 2, 2, 2. And then the last chord is a C. Alright, so at the beginning of the song you have 2 verses back to back, so for the second verse you're just going to repeat all of that again. Alright, so now I'll go back and show you the electric guitar parts. During the verse, one of the electric guitars is just going to play a G chord and hold it out for a bar, and then that guitar is out. Then the other electric guitar, it also for the first bar, is just holding a G5 chord. Then what it's doing is kind of some like lead fill embellishments over the B minor chord. That's basically what you have going on. It's 2 guitars, but you can do it with just one. So those double stops are at 7, 7 on your 3rd and 2nd strings, and then 6 and 5. Alright, so then for the C chord, we're playing at 5 and 5. That double stop implies a C chord. And then the chromatic thing. So that's a real common thing in all styles of music, but it's C, B, C, C sharp, or 3, 2, 3, 4. And then we're coming into the D, playing some pentatonic licks there, approaching the G root note. Next thing he does is some harmonics to arpeggiate the E chord. Over the A chord, he just plays an open A, and then over C, just a little C5 power chord. So, this is all done ad-lib. I'm sure he's improvising all of this. So, just kind of get creative and, put on the track. The one thing that he is doing in each verse consistently is the... So that I would put in each time the C and the D chords come around, every verse. Alright, so let's move on and check out the chorus. Alright, the chorus, we're going to play our A minor chord on, now this is the acoustic guitar track that I'm teaching here. Alright, that's the first part, tried and true A minor. Then we're going to do the G5 chord we had at the beginning of the song. Then what we do here is we're going to play 8th notes with all down strums. The first chord is in F, 1, 3, 3, 2 on your low strings. And then every other time we're going to play that is an F/E. So you're just changing the bass note. And then on the end of 4 of that measure, so I'll do this real slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And... So on the end of 4, we're going back to the G chord, and then the riff repeats again. All right, so the electric guitar parts both of them are doing the exact same thing. So let's check that out. Pretty simple. We're just playing power chords of what the other guitar was doing. So A5 power chord, G5 power chord up here, and then we're playing F5 to F5/E. And then also the G5 on the and the 4. Alright, so now we have like a little post-chorus that's 2 measures that's going to transition us back into the verse. And the harmony for these sections is just a D to an E chord. So the acoustic is doing this. One of the distorted guitars is doing this. So it's playing a D chord here and an E chord here. The other guitar, the other distorted guitar, is playing like this power chord for D5, 5/7/7, and then you have this. So he's playing E octaves on your low 6th string, and then the 5th string note, and then you're back to your main riff. So that pretty much covers all of this song. The only other part to talk about is the ending, in that basically the way that goes is you have the, and then you're gonna hold out that C add 9 chord where David Bowie is singing, Ziggy played guitar, and then tremolo strum your G chord at the end to end it. Alright, so that takes care of David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. I am unfortunately no longer offering the tabs for free. I'm asking basically $1 per song, where Patreon members can sign up for access to all of my transcriptions. And you can find every transcription I've ever done on my website if that's something you're interested in. And that is $5 a month for a yearly subscription. So, yeah, please let me know if you'd be interested in the tabs, and you basically need a PayPal account to send that to me. So yeah, I'm Matt Brown. Please stick around for more lessons, and thanks a lot for watching. Please subscribe.